session of Rajya Sabha. Permission to remain is granted. There is one notice for discussion on price rise. Discussion was allowed, but it was not allowed to take up, so member has no right to raise the issue again. Secondary, 0 hour. Sri Harnath Singh Yadav.
माननीय सभापति जी,
0 hour.
मैं आपके माध्यम से देश भर में सुचारू तरीके से चल रहे सरकार का ध्यान आकर्षित करता हूं। महोदय, भारत विश्व का एकमात्र देश है जहां अल्पसंख्यक मतों के लोग अवैध तरीकों से धर्मांतरण अभियान चलाने का संवैधानिक अधिकार बनाए रखना चाहते हैं और बहुसंख्यक धर्मावलंबी लोग मतांतर पर रोक लगाना चाहते हैं। अन्यथा दुनिया के अधिकांश देशों में अल्पसंख्यक समुदाय के लोग अपने अनुयायियों को बहुसंख्यकों द्वारा मतांतर से बचाने के लिए धर्मांतर पर प्रतिबंध की मांग करते हैं। महोदय, विदेशी मिशनियों द्वारा देश भर में आदिवासी और गरीब तबके के लोगों का प्रलोभन अथवा धर्मांतर अभियान एक सोची समझी नीति के तहत चल रहा है। माननीय, मैं झारखंड का उदाहरण देना चाहूंगा। 2011 की जनगणना के अनुसार 2001 से 2011 के मतदान के अंदर आदिवासी हिंदू की संख्या 30% ये 30% आदिवासी कहा है। पूर्वोत्तर के देश में यह अभियान चल रहा है। राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर धर्मांतर बढ़ाने के लिए 1960 और 1979 में संसद में बड़े जोर शोर से आवाज उठाई गई थी, जिसमें अनेक सदस्य भी शामिल थे। वर्ष 1995 में उच्चतम न्यायालय ने महिलाओं के हितों की रक्षा और धार्मिक स्वतंत्रता के अधिकार का रोकने के इरादे से धर्मांतर कानून बनाने के लिए उस समय की सरकार को एक समिति बनाने का सुझाव दिया था, परंतु अल्पसंख्यक वोटों के लालच के कारण यह कानून जमीनी हकीकत प्राप्त कर सका। माननीय, भारत में बहुसंख्यक समाज अपने ही देश में असुरक्षित है। एक रिपोर्ट के अनुसार पिछले 25 वर्षों में हरियाणा के मेवाड़ क्षेत्र में 180 से अधिक गांव हिंदू विहीन हो गए और कश्मीर से 3 लाख से अधिक हिंदू प्रताड़ित में मार काट कर भगा दिए गए। उत्तर प्रदेश में कैराना से हिंदुओं के पलायन करने का मुद्दा पूरे देश में आज भी चर्चित है। महोदय, पूज्य महात्मा गांधी कहते थे कि मानवता की सेवा की आड़ में धर्म परिवर्तन रुग्ण मानसिकता का परिचायक है और छल प्रपंच प्रलोभन व जबरन धर्म परिवर्तन जघन्य अपराध है। मानवीय स्थिति अत्यंत भयावह व चिंताजनक है। अतः मैं देश की सामाजिक सुरक्षा, सामाजिक सौहार्द व समरसता, भावनात्मक एकता और देश की सुरक्षा को दृष्टिगत रखते हुए राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर कठोर धर्मांतरण विरोधी कानून बनाने की मांग करता हूँ।
Dr. Ami Agit, she has gone to well with her own notice. Sri Y.S. Chaudhary.
Thank you, sir. The recent cyclone in the months of November or December severely affected the many districts of Andhra Pradesh, and the farmers have lost standing crops. The people living in the vulnerable areas in the respective districts have been evacuated. Many standing crops were either totally damaged or partially damaged due to heavy rains and cyclone that ravaged our state of Andhra Pradesh. Last week also I had tabled a question on PM Fasal Bima Yojana and urged the Honorable Minister to pay more compensation by way of crop insurance and to cover more areas and to bring more farmers into the insurance coverage. Now that the 2 cyclones consequently had pounded our state, apart from other 2 states, I urge upon the Government of India to immediately take action to pay compensation to the affected farmers under the PM Fasal Bima Yojana. Thank you.
Sri K. Vanadavena, Mizoram.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Chairman. I want to inform the Honorable Member of this House about the present situation of Myanmar refugees in the state of Mizoram. There are about 15,000 Myanmar refugees in the state of Mizoram due to the Myanmar military coup. These refugees are scattered everywhere in the state of Mizoram. Some of them are living with their relatives among the people of Mizoram. In the meantime, most of them are living in the refugee camps, which were jointly built by NGO and government of Mizoram at different 15 villages. The people of Mizoram, government of Mizoram, NGO, churches, political parties, and every individual do love and care them. We provide them food, clothing, water, medicine, shelter, children education without the help of Union government during these 11 months in the midst of Corona pandemic. Honorable Chairman, I am requesting the Union government to help all these Myanmar refugees, even though India is not a signatory of the refugee. Being the biggest democracy in the world, it is our duty to help our neighbors who love democratic rights and principle. Thank you.
Thank you. The member from Mizoram Northeast raising an important issue and we are not allowing him to be heard. Sri Ajit Kumar Buyan, floods in Assam. Ajit Kumar Buyan, not there. Sri Vijay Sai Reddy. What you say will go on record, don't worry.
Sir, Congress party has not learnt lessons from the past. So, I request you to teach the lesson to the Congress party. If you can't teach the lesson, people of this country will teach the lesson to the Congress party, sir. Sir, this is establishing mega textile park in Kopparthi. Sir, the government recently notified establishment of 7 mega integrated textile region and apparel parks in the country with a total outlay of 4,445 crores. Sir, these Mitra parks, in abbreviated form, these are all called Mitra parks. These Mitra parks will integrate the entire textile value chain from spinning, weaving, dyeing and printing at a single location and introduce modern infrastructural facilities for entire value chain. This will help reducing the logistic cost, generate employment and attract local and foreign investment in the textile sector, sir. Sir, the Kopparthi region of YSR Kadapa district is home to a thriving and dynamic textile industry with a strong presence of textile-based industries. With the recent establishment of mega industrial hub in the region, it possesses infrastructural and logistic linkages needed for Mitra parks to flourish. Sir, in the past few years, the region has become a preferred destination for the investors and Andhra Pradesh government is working actively to promote it. Sir, promote it as an investor-friendly region through host of incentives and subsidies. Sir, Andhra Pradesh is the single largest producer of cotton, silk, possesses skill base of 4.5 lakh handloom and powerloom workers, sir, and has well-developed spinning and processing sector. Hence, the state would greatly benefit from the establishment of Mitra Park, which would help integrating supply chain spread across the state at a single nodal point. Hence, I urge the government of India to establish one of the 7 Mitra parks in Kopparthi region of YSR district in Andhra Pradesh. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
His name has to be put in the bulletin today. Right. Srimati Jaya Bachchan. Srimati Jaya Bachchan.
I cannot speak on the din, so I will lay my 0 hour mention on the table. Thank you.
As they are not allowing you to make your submission, you are laying it on the table. I am, as a special case, I am permitting it. Sri Kanakamadi Ravindra Kumar.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman, sir. Sir, recently 8 persons were killed and 50 others were reported missing after they were washed away in dashing the water after Annamaya project breached near Rajampeta in the state of Andhra Pradesh. The Annamaya project was receiving inflow 3.25 lakhs cubics of flood water as against its capacity of 1.40 lakhs cubics. Sensing the danger and severity of the situation, the state government should have acted in a time-bound manner. Sir, on the other day, in the very August House, the Honorable Minister for Jal Shakti, Honorable Rajendra Singh Shekhawat, stated in this House just a few days ago, Annamaya Dam in Andhra Pradesh suddenly started getting water. When it started pouring 1.5 times more water than it had capacity. Then the spillway broke the damage and caused due to it. Sir, any accident that may happen to him, whether the dam water should be released at sudden, even if the dam breaks, now we have to create at Annamaya Dam. Some people had mentioned it. Members, through you, I want to bring to the notice of this. Suddenly water started coming in Annamaya Dam, more than spillway capacity, and I have more flowing water. So, as much as water is coming by matching both the gates, that much water should come out of it. But I want to say with great sadness that one of the 5 gates did not open, found it was not functional. Was it not the responsibility of the state? You see the people, this affect thousands of cattle lost their lives. Sir, in view of when it was mentioned the whole world, till the time another dam has broken in India and the engineers of the whole world have put in the dam. Sir, when the ground reality is such, the state concerned minister of the state government went to denial mode as soon as he heard about the minister's statement. There is a controversy with regard to the accident is concerned, so the matter is very sensitive. It also involves safety and protection of the public at large. Therefore, I request the central government through you, sir, to conduct independent investigation by the central government team and fix the responsibility. Who are the responsible for the negligence of the state government?
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Narendra Jadhav, please go to your seats. Members, I would tell you, these sort of tactics are not going to help. You are not going to achieve your objective. And let me make clear, you can't force the chair. Coming onto the well, raising slogans, shouting, clapping are very indecent, unparliamentary, uncivilized. Let it go on record, and then these people's name also be put on record. Put it in.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Sir, post-COVID-19 pandemic, there is a significant rise in the number of patients reporting breathlessness and palpitations. Similarly, it has been observed that post-COVID-19, there is an increased tendency of clot formation. Sir, serious long-term complications in cardiovascular system and respiratory system have also been reported, especially in the patients with severe COVID-19 who were hospitalized. Sir, the disruption in the flow of blood to the heart due to clot formation can also cause cardiac arrest. Sir, many people who have developed cardiovascular diseases are going in for a pacemaker implantation procedure. This phenomena has been witnessed in almost every age group. Even people of young age are opting for heart surgery in order to survive. Sir, people with dysfunctional lungs or respiratory system failure have also developed cardiovascular diseases. Sir, the pacemaker surgery costs anywhere between 45,000 rupees to 3 lakh rupees, whereas the cost of cardiovascular surgery may go up to even 8 lakh rupees. Sir, in 2018, a report published by Public Health Foundation of India revealed that the out-of-pocket expenses out-of-pocket health expenses drove 55 million people below the poverty line. It is hard, sir, it is hard to imagine the havoc that has been wreaked by COVID-19 by the post on the family. It is hard to imagine, sir, the havoc wreaked by COVID-19 pandemic on the families, and as to how many families may have been pushed into poverty in their bid to fight against COVID-19. The situation is now.
Three more. Please conclude. Sri G.K. Vasan. Sri G.K. Vasan. Not there.
Well, thank you for permitting me to raise an important issue, sir, in the 0 hour regarding Narikurawa community, which is a long pending in Tamil Nadu, sir. The Narikurawa community, which had migrated to the southern states from other parts of India, and those in the state of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Kerala have been included in the list of scheduled tribes. However, sir, to underline, the community in Tamil Nadu has not been included in the list of scheduled tribe despite efforts from the government, sir. Sir, I would like to say there is a general consensus among various political parties, both at the state level and the national level, sir, to grant scheduled tribe status to the Narikurawa community in Tamil Nadu. A bill to give effect to such inclusion of this community in the list of scheduled tribes was introduced in the 15th Lok Sabha and 16th Lok Sabha, sir, but could not be passed on both occasions and the bill was left. Therefore, sir, I request the Honorable Minister of Tribal Affairs and the Government of India to kindly take necessary steps for including the Narikurawa community in Tamil Nadu in the scheduled tribe list. Thank you, sir.
Sri Tiruchi Siva, are you going to raise 0 hour? 0 hour, you are not going to raise. So you have to take care of your colleagues. Sri Suken Sekhar Roy.
I would like to raise a matter of public interest because so far the public sector
Suken Sekhar Roy, Mike, please.
so far the public sector banks are concerned. I'm sorry. Hello. So far the public sector banks are concerned, sir, it appears that huge corporate bad loans have been resolved with heavy haircut or loss to the banks. For example, in 13 accounts to the public sector banks, total loan due was rupees 4,46,800,800, and it was resolved and settled for rupees 1,61,820 crores, and the bank suffered loss to the extent of rupees 284,980 crores. So the total haircut was 64%. In this way, the banks, public sector banks have suffered huge losses, and 64% haircut has been allowed to the loaning companies. And the new companies who have purchased this bank, the question of cartelization cannot be ruled out. Therefore, sir, through you, I would urge upon the government to institute a commission of inquiry so that whether there was any cartelization or not, because of keeping in view the huge losses suffered by the public sector banks, which is essentially a public money. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. As Sri John Bitas and Sanjay Singh are in the well, they are not in. You can't do this. Coming here, shouting slogan, going there and again.
Sir, 12 लोगों को बहाल कीजिए, sir.
Sri Ram ji, Sri Ram ji, Sri Ram ji. Sir. No, Sri Ram ji. Ram ji.
धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय।
श्री राम जी उनके साथ न्याय करिए, राम जी के साथ न्याय करिए।
महोदय, आपके माध्यम से मैं माननीय शिक्षा मंत्री का ध्यान वर्तमान में विश्वविद्यालय की प्रवेश परीक्षाओं में अनियमितताओं तथा भेदभाव की तरफ उत्कर्ष करना चाहता हूं। महोदय, विगत दिनों जेएनयू में पीएचडी के प्रवेश के लिए इंटरव्यू लिए गए, उनमें लिखित परीक्षा के लिए 70 तथा मौखिक साक्षात्कार के लिए 30 अंक निर्धारित किए गए। इंटरव्यू के 30 अंकों में SC ST OBC के छात्रों को 2 से 3 अंक दिए गए। बाकी श्रीमान जी आपसे कहना है 30 अंक के इंटरव्यू में SC ST OBC के 2 से 3 अंक देना ये तार्किक और न्यायपूर्ण नहीं है। जेएनयू में कम फीस तथा क्वार्टाइल सिस्टम की वजह से अधिकांश बच्चे वंचित वर्ग से आते हैं जो उस शिक्षा से वंचित रह जाते हैं। श्रीमान जी, यह देश के भविष्य के साथ में खिलवाड़ है। उसके साथ ही महोदय आपके माध्यम से संसद का ध्यान एक और गंभीर मुद्दे की तरफ आकर्षित करना चाहता हूं, जो अनुसूचित जात SC ST के छात्रों के मिलने वाली छात्रवृत्ति से संबंधित है। पूरे देश में SC ST के छात्रों की छात्रवृत्ति समय से मिलने के कारण अधिक से अधिक वर्ग के लोग शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में बढ़ चढ़कर शिक्षित हो रहे थे, लेकिन जब से वर्तमान सरकार आई है तब से SC ST के छात्रों के साथ में अन्यायपूर्ण व्यवहार करते हुए उनकी छात्रवृत्ति बंद कर रखी है। इसके 2 एग्जाम्पल मेरे सामने आए हुए श्रीमान जी। उत्तर प्रदेश का एक है SR इंस्टीट्यूट, वहां पे पढ़ने वाली छात्रा रीना कुमारी बायोटेक बीटेक से कर रही थी, लेकिन उसकी फीस न आने की वजह से उसकी पढ़ाई छूट गई है। ऐसे ही एक केस राजस्थान का अलवर का भी है। छात्र अंकुश गौतम राजस्थान के गुजरात के नेशनल लॉ कॉलेज में पढ़ाई कर रहा था, उसकी 3 साल से कोई स्कॉलरशिप नहीं आई है, उसकी पढ़ाई भी छूटने वाली है। इसलिए श्रीमान जी आपसे मेरा निवेदन है कि जिन छात्र छात्राओं के साथ में अन्याय हुआ है उन्हें न्याय दिलाया जाए, और जल्द से जल्द मेरी आपके माध्यम से सरकार से यह मांग है कि SC ST OBC के छात्रों को जल्द से जल्द छात्रवृत्ति जारी की जाए। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद राम जी। Abdul Wahab is in the well of the house is not called. Srimati Mamata Mohanta.
धन्यवाद सभापति महोदय। मेरा विषय है जातीय परिवार मंगल योजना। जातीय परिवार मंगल योजना साल 2008 में शुरू हुआ था। इसका सहायता राशि पहले 10,000 था, लेकिन साल 2012 में इसको बढ़ाकर 20,000 किया गया। इस योजना में अगर किसी परिवार का मुख्य आय करने वाला व्यक्ति का निधन हो जाता है और उसका उम्र 60 साल से कम और उनके बच्चे नाबालिग है, तो इन परिवार को इस योजना में शामिल किया जाता है। इस योजना में हिताधिकारी को साल 1997 BPL सर्वे के अनुसार सहायता राशि मिलती है, लेकिन BPL सर्वे हर 5 साल में होना चाहिए। इन 24 साल में गरीब परिवार का भी आर्थिक स्थिति पहले से ज़्यादा बेहतर है और अमीर परिवार की भी गरीब हुए हैं। सभापति महोदय, मैं आपके माध्यम से अनुरोध करती हूं कि 1997 BPL सर्वे का संशोधन करके आर्थिक स्थिति के हिसाब से इन परिवार को इस योजना में शामिल करें और 20,000 रुपये आजकल के ज़माने में कोई मायने नहीं रखती, इसको बढ़ाकर 2 लाख किया जाए। धन्यवाद सर।
धन्यवाद ममता जी। श्री दिग्विजय सिंह जी इन सीट। ठीक है, हेल्पलेस लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल DP वाट्स।
सभापति जी, मैं आपके माध्यम से खाप पंचायतों के बारे में मीडिया द्वारा और कुछ तत्वों द्वारा गलत धारणाएं फैलाए जाने के खिलाफ आवाज उठाना चाहता हूं। खाप पंचायतें भाईचारा पंचायतें हैं जो लोक लाज से लोक राज चलाती हैं। खाप पंचायतों ने नारा दिया है कि समाज की रोटी और बेटी एक करो, जाति तोड़ो समाज जोड़ो। खाप पंचायतों ने नारी शिक्षा के लिए सराहनीय काम किया है। खाप पंचायतों ने कन्या भ्रूण हत्या के खिलाफ सराहनीय काम करके जेंडर रेशो को ठीक किया है।
आपका क्या सुझाव क्या है?
सुझाव मेरा ये है कि खाप पंचायतों के बारे में लोग सीखें ठीक से और अपनी धारणा को करेक्ट करें, क्योंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट में भी इनके खिलाफ PIL डाली गई थी। सुप्रीम कोर्ट जी ने उस PIL को सुनने से इनकार कर दिया और खाप पंचायतों पर बैन लगाने से इनकार कर दिया। खाप पंचायतें प्रोग्रेसिव पंचायत हैं, भाईचारा पंचायत हैं। ये एक सुधार के थ्रू स्वस्थ प्रोजनी पैदा करने में भी मदद करती हैं, क्योंकि ये अंतर्जातीय विवाह को बढ़ावा देती हैं, इन ब्रीडिंग को रोकती हैं और क्रॉस ब्रीडिंग को बढ़ावा देती हैं और नशे पते के खिलाफ हैं। थैंक यू सभापति जी।
Dr. Hanumantaya is not in his seat. So, Sri Mohammad Najimul Haq.
So thank you, sir. Sir, the recent World Inequality Report 2021 has flagged India as a poor and very unequal country. With the economic downturn engendered by the pandemic making matters worse, India's middle class has shrunk to a frightening extent during the pandemic years. According to a study by Pew Research Center, the figure of its shrinkage is approximately 32 million currently, accounting for 60% decline. Inflation resulting from this economic decline has disproportionately and adversely affected the poor and the middle class. The price of essential food items like tomatoes, milk, edible oils has been going through the roof throughout the last 2 years. Prices of transport, fuels and cooking gas have been exorbitantly high due to the government's unjustified taxation policy. In spite of a fall in global crude oil prices, Indian excise taxes on petrol and diesel were increased. A recent crisis study has shown that food and fuel prices affect the bottom 20% of the population the hardest. An estimated 10 million migrant workers who had come to cities looking for greener pastures have now gone back to farming. Sir, inflation figures have risen from 4.48% in October to 4.91% in November. Sir, in conclusion, sir, I conclude, sir, these figures show that instead of taking an empathetic view of the poor and the middle class, the government has continued with its neoliberal economic policies that have been ruining the lives and the livelihood alike. It is high time that the government realizes its folly and undertakes a much needed course correction. If not, the electoral will.
Right, Najimul Haq ji, धन्यवाद. Sri Vijaypal Singh Tomar.
धन्यवाद माननीय सभापति महोदय। मैं केंद्र सरकार ने तो धान के दाम लागत से 1.5 गुने किए हैं, रिकॉर्ड खरीदारी की है, इसको मैं बधाई देना चाहता हूं। लेकिन जितना लाभ किसानों को मिलना चाहिए आमतौर पर उतना लाभ नहीं मिल पा रहा है और बिचौलियों द्वारा शोषण हो रहा है। मान्यवर, 2 तरह से शोषण होता है। एक तो किसान जब अपना क्रय केंद्र पर धान बेचने जाता है तो मॉइस्चर नापने के नाम पर किसानों को रोक दिया जाता है, 10 से 15% तक की कटौती की जाती है और किसान मजबूर हो जाता है, उनको रिजेक्ट कर दिया जाता है और 1200 रुपये में वो व्यापारी को बेच देता है और उसी व्यापारी के द्वारा वही धान फिर 1960 रुपये में खरीद लिया जाता है। तो इस तरह से आम किसान, गरीब किसानों का शोषण होता है। और दूसरा, कुछ राज्यों में ऐसा भी देखने को मिला है कि टोकन जारी होता है। जिसके बड़े किसान हैं उन्होंने धान नहीं रोपाई कर रखी, फिर भी उन्हें टोकन मिल जाता है और छोटी जोत के किसानों को टोकन नहीं मिलता है। छोटी जोत का किसान विवश होता है बड़े किसान को या व्यापारी को बेचने के लिए और वो 1000-1200 रुपये कुंटल के नाम पे बेचता है। मान्यवर, केंद्र के 2 हैं KVK कृषि विज्ञान केंद्रों पर स्टैंडर्ड लैब हैं जिनमें मॉइस्चर की नापने की सही ठीक है और केंद्र के पास KVK हैं, आत्मा हैं। हर क्रिया केंद्र पर धान के एक सरकारी कर्मचारी बैठा हो, मशीन हो, वो सर्टिफिकेट दे और तब वो धान खरीदा जाए ताकि किसानों का शोषण होने से बचाया जा सके। मैं आपके माध्यम से सरकार से मांग करना चाहता हूँ।
Google and Facebook together take away around 75% of the total digital advertising market in India, with ad revenue of 23,213 crore, 9,326 crore of Facebook, and 13,887 crore of Google. They earn a share higher than the combined revenue of the top 10 listed traditional media companies at rupees 8,396 crore. So, through their advertisement reseller model, they send away the major portion. Facebook sends 90% of gross advertisement revenue to the global subsidiary, while Google India pays 87%. The issue is that these big tech firms are getting rich at the expense of traditional media. Then it does not pay traditional news platforms sufficiently, despite making huge money by displaying their journalistic content. To ensure this, following the EU directive, countries like France, Germany and Australia have already legislated neighboring rights in which platforms like Google are made to pay traditional media outlets for use of their content. So, Facebook is undermining safety of largest user base of 34 crore of users in India. It does not flag problematic content like fake, misinformation and hate speech. As per a report, Facebook found that over 40% of top views in state of West Bengal were fake, inauthentic. Even Vipin Rawat, even the death of Vipin Rawat, there were objectionable tweets on Facebook and other social media platforms. Sir, Facebook spends a minuscule of just 13% of its budget to flag content in markets outside US. Thus, the percentage of budget which gets allocated to India is even less than 13% for Hindi and Bengali. Sir, just recently, even the PM's account was hacked by Crypto Lobby Group, bringing out a tweet declaring that India is officially adopted that Bitcoin is a legal tender. Sir, I would urge, therefore, that India must form an independent regulatory body that ensures a legislative framework which shall oversee the activities of these big tech companies and ensure that these platforms dedicate proper budgetary allocation towards content moderation and revenue sharing with the traditional media. Sir, with these words, I again that Government of India should take action against the social media giants. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
Selva Ganapati. Yes, Selva Ganapati. Selva Ganapati.
Honorable Chairman, sir, Pondicherry University, it's a central university established by an Act of Parliament in October 1985. Our Honorable Chairman, sir himself, was Chancellor for the university. The central universities in India are functioning with the land, water, electricity and other infrastructure facilities of the local government. Despite utilizing the resources, the students of Puducherry are not assured of a share in admissions for all the courses conducted by the Central University. This is really unfortunate. I feel that the privilege of the native students of Puducherry is denied. To be specific, the people of Puducherry have been requesting the Pondicherry University to reserve 25% of the seats exclusively for students of Puducherry for several years. The university is conducting 78 courses in various disciplines. However, only the reservation of the residents of Puducherry is given only for 21 courses, and the demand is only to extend the reservation out to the remaining 57 courses. Denying the reservations to the people of Puducherry is unreasonable. It is not only prefixing but denies natural justice. We do not deny its pan-India character and the right of students of other states in a central government establishment. What we want is only a minimum of reservation of just 25% of seats.
I am not placing with an uncomfortable and unreasonable request. Now it is an untenable.
You cannot read.
Reservation for residents is not a new
You have to
phenomenon.
speak, you cannot read.
In my own state,
First time.
Government is a central government organization. It provides
first timer, I am allowing you, but
25%
no reading.
reservation to the locals, and the National Institute of Technology gives 25%,
Thank you,
not but 50%.
thank you.
Let such a reservation be not only for Pondicherry University, but for all 54 central universities. Sir, I would like to justify the need for my request is that Puducherry is not giving any state university, and the students of Puducherry have to depend only the central university. Honorable Chairman, sir, as a special case, the Pondicherry University may be permitted to extend 25% reservation in all courses
Right, Sambhaji
conducted by
Chhatrapati.
the university.
Please try to conclude before time. Make it a practice at least. You are a new beginner, you have to understand the rules.
Thank you, sir. While ASI is globally known for outstanding archaeological investigations through explorations and excavations throughout the country, it is quite intriguing to raise that the dedicated excavations branches, that is 6 numbers, have not been assigned any major excavations for the last more than 15 years. It seems ASI has totally forgotten its primary responsibility to discover, excavate and interpret the archaeological evidence for unbiased reconstruction of the Indian history. There are many dark periods in the history of and archaeology of the country, but it appears ASI has no formal or informal plan to tackle the bridge of its dark periods. In the past, the branches used to have stable establishments because they were mainly engaged in the first-hand research in the field of interpretation and valuable data for reconstruction of history. Many of them are being sitting idle, sir, and no substantial work have been assigned or any befitting work to their reputation. Even in this regard, the fund allocation for excavation of this country's sites, ASI is not even allocating 2% of its budget. To turn the tide over, the government needs to give it support, sir. A large number of ancient sites in various states are yet to receive the attention of the ASI for taking up the major excavations. The sites of Mathura, through the centers of religions or trade, yet to be thoroughly excavated. Despite the association of Mathura with Lord Krishna, no work has been done for the last 40 years, sir. Bearing a few expectations, ASI has not bear the town planning of any major city after independence of public viewing. Even all the work which has been done, it has done before the pre-independence, sir. Honorable Chairman, sir, large-scale excavations may extend great help in the reconstruction of Indian history based upon the impossible evidence, and thus make an appeal to the government to direct ASI to take up large-scale excavations as the important sites for which proposals have already been submitted in the year 2021-22, sir. Thank you, sir.
Shri Rakesh Sinha. Rakesh Sinha.
भारत सरकार अमृत महोत्सव मना रही है और इस अवसर पर मैं एक ऐसे मुद्दे को उठा रहा हूं जो उचित है और इस अवसर पर उन्हें सम्मान देना। भारत के संविधान सभा में 15 महिला सदस्य थी। ये वे सदस्य थी जिन्होंने स्वतंत्रता आंदोलन में बड़ी महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई थी। सिर्फ स्वतंत्रता आंदोलन में ही भूमिका नहीं निभाई थी, बल्कि सामाजिक सुधार और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय राजनीति में इनकी अहम भूमिका थी। मैं एक नाम लेना चाहता हूं हंसा मेहता जी का। हंसा मेहता के आग्रह पर संयुक्त राष्ट्र संघ का जो यूनिवर्सल राइट्स डिक्लेरेशन है, जिसमें ऑल मेन आर इक्वल कहा गया था, उनके हस्तक्षेप के बाद यूनाइटेड नेशन ने उसमें परिवर्तन किया। ऑल मेन आर इक्वल की जगह ऑल ह्यूमन बींग्स आर इक्वल। इसी तरह से लीला रे ये 6 साल जेल में रही, जो हमारी
फ्रीडम फाइटर्स।
मालती चौधरी, कमला चौधरी, हम कुछ नामों को जानते हैं, जैसे सुचिता कृपलानी जी हो गई, विजय लक्ष्मी पंडित हो गई, लेकिन बहुत से ऐसे नाम हैं जिन्होंने भूमिका निभाई लेकिन हम उन्हें नहीं जान पा रहे हैं। जैसे मैं नाम लेता हूँ दुर्गाबाई देशमुख, इन्हें आयरन लेडी के नाम से हम जानते थे। अम्मू कुट्टी स्वामीनाथन, उसी तरह से पूर्णिमा बनर्जी, राजकुमारी अमृत कौर 10 साल तक स्वास्थ्य मंत्री रही थी, ऑल इंडिया इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मेडिकल साइंस की स्थापना की थी। मेरा इस सदन के माध्यम और आपके माध्यम से भारत सरकार से आग्रह है कि अमृत महोत्सव के अवसर पर इन 15 उन सदस्यों को जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली की सदस्य थी, इनके ऊपर मोनोग्राफ्स पब्लिश किए जाएं, इनके ऊपर सेमिनार किए जाएं, जिससे भारत में जो महिलाओं के सशक्तिकरण, महिलाओं की राजनीति में भागीदारी की बात कही जाती है। तृतीय विश्व के देश में भारत ही एक ऐसा देश है जिसमें संविधान सभा में 15 महिला सदस्य थी। दुनिया के किसी भी देश में इतनी बड़ी संख्या में महिला सदस्य नहीं थी। इसलिए आज दुनिया के प्लेटफॉर्म को ये बताने की जरूरत है कि भारत के स्वतंत्रता आंदोलन, भारत की राजनीति, भारत के सामाजिक जीवन में महिलाओं की भागीदारी सतत बनी रही है। इसलिए मैं अंत में भारत सरकार से आग्रह करता हूँ कि ऐसी सभी महिला सदस्यों की भूमिकाओं को, उनकी सामाजिक राजनीतिक गतिविधियों को प्रकाश में लाया जाए, जिससे समाज इनके बारे में सुपरिचित हो सके। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद राकेश जी, आपने अच्छा विषय ध्यान में लाया। मैं चाहता हूं सरकार उसके ऊपर ध्यान दे। ये महत्वपूर्ण सुझाव है। जो महिला संसद संविधान सभा में सदस्य थे और उन्होंने अपना योगदान किया, ऐसा महिलाओं का बारे में अलग सम्मान इस आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव संदर्भ में होना चाहिए। ये उनका सुझाव है, अच्छा सुझाव है। आप नोट करके कंसर्न मंत्रालय से बातचीत करके देख लीजिए।
मिनिस्ट्री से, कंसर्न मिनिस्टर से बात करके ध्यान में लाता हूँ।
स्पेशल मेंशन श्री किरोड़ीलाल मीना।